curly brace to the first if, I can open up another if, open closing parenthesis. So if $var2 equals 8.
Ooh, you better put 2 equals there.
Equals, yep. Open, let me tab this one over just so it's easy to see.
Yeah, the tabbing is really important for the reader to be able to look at this code and just quickly digest what block belongs to which statement.
Alright, so you can tell that this echo belongs to this else if, this echo belongs to this if, which belongs to this if.
Absolutely.
So we're testing if it's 10, and then again and then testing the second var if it's 8. So I'll just change this back to true to be less confusing. Save that out, test it, and it was false because I don't have var equal to 10. Alright, so var 10, so this will be true. Second var 8, so this will be true. And of course,
very
true.
nice.
And again, the reason, remember we just, it's kind of like the same thing as that and, or why would you use this other than just using an and inside of a single if? Well, what if you wanted something to happen in the first case, and then something else happened in the second case? So if I put another echo, so say we always want to do something in the case that it's equal to 10, but then only continue that. So let's echo out var was 10, but if it was 8 also, then do an echo and just say and var2 was 8. Again, I'm not using the BR, so this will all echo out onto one line.
And you can go ahead and embed you can also do an if right after that too. An else, just to show that there's an if else all embedded that could echo out saying that var2 was not equal to 8.
Okay. So tab that over. Tab that over, use the correct braces. Okay, so want to do and var2 was not 8.
Looks good.
So let me save that out. Check. Var was 10 and var2 was 8.
Okay.
Then if we make this anything else, again this is a string so it can be pretty much anything. Var was 10 and var2 is not 8.
Yep. Very, very nice. Okay, so now do you want to, I'll let you go ahead and go a little bit fancier now.
Okay, now notice let's do a little bit more comparing. Let's go back to just the first if. So if var is equal to 10, well, you can also compare variables. So let's compare var1 to var2 and say var1 equals var2. So we can test two variables, so we can change from here. And let's see. So let's try that out. Save. Var was false, as in this var 10 does not equal cat.
Right.
But what if, see these how these are different types? If I put 10 inside here, even though this is a string, let me go ahead and run it. Var equals 2. So we're just looking at this first part because all we're looking at now is just to make sure that this line got hit, and it did. Var equals 2.
So suddenly we have these two different types, a numeric and a string.
And a string. We're comparing them, and it says they're true because it's not PHP isn't real picky about types of variables. As long as they contain the same thing, it'll actually evaluate to true, as you just saw.
But what if we get in a situation, Logan, where we absolutely have to make sure they're the same type and value?
Right. There's certain functions that will return a value 0 to whatever. Like if you're searching inside a string to see if it contained a certain letter, it will return 0 being the start of the string to whatever the end is. But in this case, say you were comparing 0 to a string's 0, or as a matter of fact, let's use a new false. This is a Boolean variable type, so you can set it to true or false. But let's compare 0 and false and see how those compare. This is much closer to an example.
Still
and
equal.
It's looking at the integer 0 and the var false as the same thing. But what if we needed to tell the difference? Because there is functions that return specifically this. It will return a range 0 to a number, and false if there was nothing found. And we need to be able to tell the difference. Here we can't. It's saying 0 is equal to false. Now, in order to tell the difference, we need to check and see if the types are identical. To do that, we use the triple equals.
Triple equals.
So we save that. A 0 is an integer. And see, it didn't hit that line. It just said var. Var was false. It didn't catch this. So and again, if we put this back to a string, and the string was said, let's say 8, and so we got the number 8 and a string with 8 in it, test, that's still false. They're not identical. They're not the same type.
Very cool.
So I guess that's about that.
Yeah, I guess that in this case right here, this will definitely be enough to get somebody that's a beginner to if statements up and running. And as a matter of fact, you're going to see that we're going to start using it here real soon and just about all the rest of the code that we're going to be writing, because making conditional decisions like this becomes quite important. Anything else you want to add, Logan?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so thanks a lot, guys. See ya.